What's up, guys? I'm Sean Hallmander. I'm a 22-year-old CEO and entrepreneur and multiple six-figure earner. And this is how to build confidence. So when I was younger, I had no confidence. I was about 210 pounds, so about 15 pounds heavier than I am now. I'm 6'2" now. I was probably, 5'6" back then when I was 12 years old. And, I was afraid of people, afraid to talk to people. I got bullied really bad, even to the point of people punching me in the hallways, in the stomach, and on the school bus and stuff like that. So I had very low confidence and I had extremely high anxiety because of it. I had nightmares every time I closed my eyes. I imagined all this messed up stuff, being buried alive, all this weird stuff. So I had really low confidence. Going into middle school, my dad almost forced me to play football. I told him I wanted to play, but when it came time for me to actually go to practice, the first practice, I was terrified. I was so scared. I remember I had butterflies in my stomach because all the cool kids in school were there, one, and two, I didn't want to get hit in the head. I didn't want to get hurt. I go in there, I start playing football, fell in love with it, couldn't make the weight limit, I couldn't play. The weight limit was 160 and I was 210 pounds, which is another story. I think that's messed up. I don't know if they still do that. So, I spent that first season, wasn't really allowed to play in a lot of the games because it was too heavy. And all that stuff. But anyway, I ended up losing the weight come 8th grade, so right before high school. So I was able to play all the games in 8th grade. And then I joined the high school football team. And at the same time, I also joined the wrestling team. I actually joined that in, I think it's 7th grade in middle school. And that's when the weight really started shedding off because the wrestling practices were so intense. But at that point, I was pretty skinny. I was actually almost like lanky, which is what I wanted. Being fat for so long, I was like, I want to just be a freaking skinny dude. I was obviously like strong, lanky, because when you have that much weight on you and you're playing these hardcore sports, you're just going to have some muscle on you after becoming skinny after a while. So, after that, I went to high school. I started hanging around, the cooler kids and really the group of people that I really wanted to be around. And things started going well, started hanging out with girls and things went well once I got into high school. But the point is, if you're lacking confidence, it's probably because there's something that you're not comfortable with yourself about and you have to go fix it. So nowadays, even lately, I speak in front of teams almost every day. I speak in front of people look up to me and as, a sales leader and XYZ, right? And I had no confidence at first. This was only a couple of years ago. I had no confidence speaking in front of a team, even though I believed I was one of the best salespeople in the industry or in the world. I had no confidence speaking in front of people. So what did I do? I jumped in the fire and I started speaking in front of people. And I probably sounded like an idiot the first couple of times, but the first time I spoke, I'll tell you this, it was in California in a warehouse with a sales team of about 40 people. I spoke in front of everyone, and so many people came up to me after. I thought I sounded like an idiot, but they said, dude, that was so inspirational. Like, I never heard that about you. I didn't know that was your story, XYZ. So we don't realize our confidence absolutely destroys our future success because we might be so darn good at something, but because we have no confidence in it, we don't try it out. But then you do it and you realize you get this feedback from people that you're actually incredible at it. And obviously, so that builds confidence, right? People tell you you're good at something, it's going to build confidence, obviously. So you keep doing it, you keep getting better until you realize, you know what? I am good at this thing. And I'm not lying to myself. This isn't screaming affirmations in the shower in the morning. This is, I know that I'm freaking good at this. I have proof of concept. So when you get to that point, you can only get to that point by doing this thing over and over and over again. So those are the two things about building confidence is one, you may have a problem that there's a reason you're not confident. When I was in high school, middle school, I wasn't confident because I truly was overweight. It was unhealthy. It wasn't good for me. I didn't look good. It's just the truth. So when people called me fat and I'd get mad at them and I got in so many fights over people calling me fat. It was like my trigger word. You could easily trigger me. All you'd have to do is say, oh, you're fat or whatever, make a fat joke. And I would be triggered. And I would try to fight you. I would get in trouble. I got in detention more times than I can count. But the reality was I was lying to myself. Yeah, I was fat. I just was. So once I shed the weight and I put in the work, years and years of work, and I changed my habits of eating, now I'd say, I have one of the better physiques in my age range, in my age group. And I'm not lying. I'm not being egotistical either, because most people look like shit, right? It's not that hard to get in the top 10 or 20% of anything. And that's money, that's fitness, that's intelligence, that's everything. Most people don't try at all. They just go through the motions, guys. You realize that if you're watching this video, you're someone that's striving for success, you're gonna realize it's not gonna take that long to get in the top 20% of people. And then the top 10% of people, it's also not that hard. Then you find that the top 1% of people, you got some more competition, but even to get in the top 1% of people in all assets of life, again, fitness, money, intelligence, everything, is not that hard. It really isn't, because your competition isn't that much. There's a lot of mediocrity in the world. So number one is actually doing the work and creating evidence that you actually are not that person that you used to be, that used to make you lack confidence. Or in other words, putting in the work and becoming that person that you want to be, and actually doing those things. If you think that you being in great shape is going to give you confidence, then you have to get in great shape. Do the research, watch the YouTube videos, read the books, and do the work, most importantly, hitting the gym, exercising. That's going to give you confidence. People are going to tell you, Harry, you look great. Dude, you look awesome. Bro, you've lost so much weight. I remember my uncle telling me at a Christmas party one time, this absolutely will stick with me to the day that I die. He said, Sean, we see the work that you're putting in, and we're super proud of you. And that was me being, younger, a fat kid, always getting in trouble, always getting in fights, to becoming an athlete. I became captain of the football team, captain of the wrestling team. And he saw that. He saw the amount of change, because I saw him all the time. He was my uncle. Every holiday party we had, he'd see me changing, morphing, everything changing, my jawline getting thinner, my stomach obviously going down, me getting thinner, and just becoming a better speaker, more confident. So the more work you put in, people will notice, and people will give you that feedback. And that feedback is so valuable, and I promise you it'll come to you. If no one's just telling you out of the blue, then ask him. He's like, hey, dude, do you think I look better? Think I look a little skinnier? And he'll be like, yeah. Who cares, right? Ask a friend, ask a family member, ask your parents. They'll tell you honestly. So yeah, those are the two biggest things. And the other thing is, if you need to build confidence in something, sometimes you just have to put your feet to the fire and just start doing it. Public speaking. You just have to start public speaking. There's no other way to get better. If you want to get better at, let's say, fighting, you got to go fight, right? You got to go put your feet to the fire and go do the thing that you're trying to get better at. So that's going to make you better, and that's going to build you confidence. But you have to be what you didn't have confidence in to gain confidence, right? And it's all different too. It's all different assets. It's all different assets, right? I may have confidence that, okay, I'm in shape now, but I'm still an idiot in school, or I still suck at wrestling, or I still suck at football. So I don't have confidence in those areas, but I do have confidence in my fitness. And so my goal has always been, ever since I found that out, that I could actually gain confidence and I could actually change who I am, being a fat kid, becoming a more in shape kid, I realized that I could do that with every aspect of life. Money, dating, whatever it is, sports, right? I could become good at anything and build confidence in anything. So that's how that's my advice on building confidence, guys. And it's as simple as just doing the work.